What's going on, everyone? So, the Lakers are taking their time. They're being patient and trying to find the proper trades. There's talks about them, at least bare minimum, doing a kind of dump trade where they're unloading players, potentially salary, so they could bring in a free agent or two. And so far, nothing's happened, right? We'll see. Keep saying a lot of time between now and October, but we're kind of losing the guys that the Lakers have been interested in. Right? You saw Gary Trent Jr., he goes and signs with Milwaukee for a vet minimum, and now Spencer Dinwiddie, who are the two main guys that the Lakers were linked to and interested in bringing in, trying to clear off two roster spots and bring in Trent, bring in Spencer Dinwiddie. Two guys on a vet minimum, by the way, that are better than the vet minimum, right? And now Spencer Dinwiddie, just like Klay Thompson, ended up going to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Dallas was like the other destination for Spence, right? Even when last season, right? It was kind of down to the Lakers or the Mavs, and he ended up going with the Lakers. He actually had some interesting comments at the time, right? It was kind of like something along the lines of Dallas is like your mom that's giving you encouragement, oh, like, it's okay, baby, you could do this type thing. And he's like, the Lakers are like your dad that's like, no, you got to get this done. You can do it. You got to work hard type thing, which thought was interesting, and now he's going back to the Dallas Mavericks. Again, I was paraphrasing, but something along those lines, right? But, it's unfortunate, right? I liked Spencer Dinwiddie. I know some people were really down on him, thought he was terrible, thought he was trash, to let him go. But I don't think it had anything to do with him. I thought it had everything to do with Darvin Ham. I mean, I talked about this heavily from the moment we got him all the way through till now, right? I mean, he's been a point guard. He's good in the point guard role. At times, very good in the point guard role. We saw that with the Lakers. But Darvin Ham, instead of utilizing him as a point guard, which at the time we needed, we didn't really have a backup point guard. That's why Spencer Dinwiddie coming in made so much sense. It was like, man, when D'Lo goes to the bench, now you got Spence who can come in and play that same role and kind of keep the second unit afloat, right? But Darvin Ham continued to put Austin Reeves and let him run his own units, and it didn't make sense, and it was incredibly frustrating in my opinion. And Spencer Dinwiddie played out of position pretty much the entire time, right? Darvin Ham utilized him as a 3-and-D wing rather than a point guard that has size. And that's where his advantages are. That's where the mismatches are. And it was something that, great example is the game that D'Lo missed and Spence came in and he had it was 26-9 or something like that. That wasn't a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence that when the one game he got to play and operate as the primary playmaker and point guard, he had the best game that he had for the Lakers. And it wasn't even close. He was that good. And to further that point, it's the only game we won without D'Angelo Russell. We lost every other game that D'Lo missed except for that one because Spence was able to play that role perfectly. Right? That was where the advantages are. I'm not saying you had to run and operate him as a point guard 24/7, 365, but it was a need at the time, and he was a guy that you could play on ball, play off ball at times. When D'Lo and LeBron are on the bench, boom, Spence, go, right? And instead, Darvin Ham just utilized them terribly. We're fine right now, with that, as far as the point guard position goes. I mean, I still would prefer, if we got rid of Cam Reddish or something, bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie, but obviously that ship has sailed. We're fine right now. My concern, and the reason I really like the idea of Spencer Dinwiddie, was if the Lakers pull off a trade, again, if they pull off a trade, then chances are they're going to need another playmaker. They're going to need another guard. Right? And so to me, it was okay, if you do pull off a trade for a Cam Johnson, or a Jeremy Grant or something, you're probably including D'Lo in that trade. And now it's okay, well, you could use that other playmaker. And it was who's that going to be? Are you going to really run Jalen Hood-Schifino when he didn't really get any run last season? Is he now going to be your backup? And what, are you going to use Austin Reeves as the point guard? Even if you did, it would have been nice to have that kind of vet stabilizer in Spencer Dinwiddie that could come in. Now, still a Tyus Jones out there, which I think he could do basically the same stuff, right? Like make plays, knock down the three ball, right? But again, it's like, how long are all these people going to wait? Right? Like Spence wanted to stay with the Lakers. He was waiting for the Lakers to do something. Right? But it's like, all these guys, they can't, like free agents, they can't go to a gym and work out and stuff. I mean, they could go to a rec or something like that, but they can't, like Spencer Dinwiddie can't go to the Lakers facility and start working out and start getting reps in and preparing for the NBA season. Right? Like, so it's like, Gary Trent, Spencer Dinwiddie, these are two guys that supposedly were waiting around for the Lakers because they wanted to go and sign with the Lakers. But the Lakers are taking their time, which I understand. I'm not upset personally. I'm sure many are. I'm not upset personally with the Lakers being patient on trying to make a move, but this is the risk you run. You had two guys that could have helped a ton and been real rotation pieces that really could have impacted the roster in a positive manner, and you just ended up losing them on a great price and great deals to teams that, Milwaukee, I guess, is not as big of a deal because, you'd only play Milwaukee if you, meet them in the finals, where Dallas, that one hurts, right? Because that's a team that you're going to probably have to go through if you want to get to the NBA finals, right? So it's like, and that's a team you're going to have to see, 4 times a year, right? So it's just like that, in my opinion, you lost two guys to them now that could have made you better, right? From day one, I always said that, Clay, I love the idea of Clay. I think Clay would have made the Lakers better, but it was always Clay and. It wasn't just Clay, right? Like, Klay Thompson comes to the Lakers, they're not all of a sudden the best team in the league, right? But it would have made them a lot better. And you add in Clay, you add in, a Spence, if you could have gotten a Gary Trent, and then maybe you go make a trade for like a Cam Johnson. Now the Lakers, you add in all that influx of talent and rotation guys. Now it's something where the Lakers could be great. But now you're missing on all these guys. You're missing the boat. And it's like, what moves are you going to make, if any? Now, look, I've said it before. Like, I don't think it's the end of the world if the Lakers run it back and kind of wait till the trade deadline. It's not my preferred option, but I don't think people think Lakers are going to be trashed, going to be a bum. Like, this is the same team that, even Laker haters last offseason were like, man, the Lakers are going to be really good, right? Reports, news people, everybody was like, are the Lakers back to being a contender? I mean, look at this team, look at this depth, look at all this stuff. I mean, I was even hyped on it. And they underperformed. Part of that was injuries. Part of that was just the players underperformed. Part of that was just bad coaching, right? I mean, Darvin Ham, people at times act like the Lakers won 37 games. They won 47 games. They won like a game out of fourth or whatever, a game and a half, something like that, out of fourth, right? And if it wasn't for that 10 and 13 stretch where they lost 10 of those 13 games, which Darvin Ham was, benching D'Lo and Reeves at the same, they just being crazy with the lineups. It was just like, what is this guy doing, right? If it wasn't for that, the Lakers probably were a top 4 seed. And Clippers got worse, right? Although I do like some of the moves that they made, but you're not replacing Paul George with the guys that they got. And Denver got worse, right? Now, I'm not saying that those two teams are going to fall out of, the playoffs entirely, or especially Denver. Denver's still going to be very good, right? But, that's an opportunity to where it's like, hey, those are two teams that the Lakers have had a history with just struggling to beat that both got worse that now should be relatively easier to beat. Denver's still going to be a tough matchup, but still, losing KCP hurts them. And so to me, it's like you look at all the other teams. No team really got that much better, right? It's not like all these teams got so good. It's like, man, the Lakers are just, I don't know how they're going to compete, right? No, it's no, they still have as good of a chance as they had last year, right? Even Oklahoma City, who I think has had the best offseason, considering they kind of solved a lot of their needs from a roster standpoint. They still, a lot of the same issues that they the matchup wise are still there. They didn't go anywhere, right? Now, again, they're tougher. I wouldn't bet on the Lakers to just run through the West or anything like that, but I don't think anyone would be shocked if they did. But we definitely need upgrades. We definitely have positions of need. We could use a backup center. We could use a legit 3-and-D wing. Depending on how the trades shape up, you're probably going to need another point guard, right? Unless Jalen Hood-Schifino is ready. And I mean, granted, you could argue you won't know until you actually throw him out there, kind of throw him to the Wolves and see if he survives, right? Like, it's just, it's frustrating. I get it. I'm frustrated too. But to me, I got to maintain patience, right? Got to wait and see, like, what's the end result? Right? Like, again, a lot of time between now and October. And, even like some of the trades that the Lakers have made in recent years, right? Like, even like the Russell Westbrook trade, for example. That happened like 2 weeks before training camp, right? Like, again, prices right now, because it's early, are insane, right? Even the Utah trade where we traded Russell Westbrook, right? Like, this time that year, it was like, oh, we want both your first. We want everything unprotected. We want all your pick swaps. They wanted the farm, everything. And then you got close to training camp and it was like, all right, fine. We'll just take 2 unprotected first. And the Lakers were like, nah. And then it was like, all right, well, tell you what, we'll take 1 unprotected and 1 protected. And the Lakers were like, no, right? And then eventually they were able, and there was no Vanderbilt at the time. And then eventually the Lakers were able to get Vanderbilt, able to get Beasley, and instead of Mike Conley, got D'Angelo Russell, and they only had to give up 1 protected first, right? So it's like, those are the kind of things that, like, again, patience is important, but it's frustrating to see all these guys go X, Y, and Z, and it's like, Lakers still haven't done nothing, but we'll see, right? Like I always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Just like a game, right? You could be down 20 at halftime, looking bleak, looking like, man, and then turn it on. All of a sudden, it's like that first domino falls, and it's like, oh, we got, Jeremy Grant. Oh, we also got Walker Kessler. Oh, we were able to sign Tyser. And then it's just like boom, 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 boom. And it's like, okay, Lakers are back, right? Like, again, a lot can happen. A lot can change. But I understand it. It's hard to be patient, right? Like, you're just seeing all these guys go. But time will tell. We'll see how it all plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you disappointed? Are you upset that, we lost out on Spencer Dinwiddie? Are you kind of like, I'm not really upset with Spencer Dinwiddie, but the entirety, right? Because again, I'm not so much upset individually with the loss of Spencer Dinwiddie. It's like the collective, right? It's like, man, we lost, we missed out on Clay. We missed out on DeMar. Missed out on Valanciunas, right? Again, it was always them but that would have been a nice first step, right? To where, right now the patience wouldn't be so dire for us Laker fans, right? Like, if they would have landed DeMar DeRozan, I think it would have been like, yeah, okay, we're still going to make a move, but, like, it's okay. Hey, worst case, man, we got DeMar DeRozan with LeBron. You kind of almost talk yourself into like, oh, this is going to be great. Where it's like, you look at the disappointment of last season, but I also look at, you should have better coaching, which, don't underestimate the value of coaching. You should have, a healthier roster, hopefully, right? Knock on wood, fingers crossed. Like, that alone solves a lot, right? Especially our defense pieces. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, again, how you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.